Hello again, everybody. My name is niXcraft. Welcome on back to the series, episode 16 today. And in the last one, we finally took down the dragon. I'm just so happy to have our wings and be able to fly around this world and take on bigger projects, which we have planned today. But first, I think we forgot something. We left the dragon egg in the end. So, we're back at the stronghold, and first thing we're going to do today is jump in the end. Doing our best not to look at any endermen along the way, we can navigate to the center portal here, and just on top you'll see that there is a dragon egg. Let's give it a punch, and it's going to end up somewhere right next to the portal, which is pretty perfect. So we can just dig underneath it. We want to go down a couple blocks, and not break the block underneath, but that one, and put down a torch. It kind of works like gravel or sand or any other gravity block. If they fall on a torch, they should just drop the item. So let's see. Boom, there we go. Egg has been acquired, but honestly, I am going to grab some of the scaffolding that I left here because I am super low and I don't have any bamboo, so I'm going to take as much of this home as I can. Alright, we've got everything we came for. Let's head on home. For now, we don't really have a spot for it, so egg goes right here. But for today's episode, we are going to be focusing on the other side of the river now. I think I'm going to clear out a few of these trees behind our sheep farm because I want to build another farm over here. If we take a look around, I think I have my spyglass on me, a lot of our copper is oxidizing. This roof is okay, but specifically the mending villager's house, I don't want that roof to oxidize. I like that bright orange color, so we're going to need a lot of honeycomb. And what better to do that than make a bee farm? So we're going to get a lot of candles that way as well. And I think it's just going to be great. So I think this area here is going to work out nice for us. Give us plenty of room. Okay, so I was just chopping trees, clearing out some space. And what do I see over there but a little beehive? I haven't seen any bees floating around while I'm out here. So I'm afraid they might be gone. But we could always clear some space out. Maybe they just can't get out. You never know. I'm going to keep my eye out. Maybe some bees will be right here, and that'll be just perfect. We were meant to build a honeycomb farm here. Alright, I've got great news. There are 2 bees in here, so that's perfect. Even if our bees that we got before weren't in their nests somehow, we have another with 2 bees in it. So once these guys pollinate and go back in, I'm sorry guys, but I'm still touching this. Thank you very much. Got our space nice and cleared out now, and went on a little clay hunting trip. And got ourselves a bunch of clay balls, a few more to smelt up here, but this should work well for us. I want to use some brick in the build today, and we will talk about that build in a second. I'm still kind of planning it out, and I do want to make like a dome type shape. I kind of want to make this like a greenhouse with a bunch of flowers on the inside, and have a glass ceiling. So I am using plots.com, which is a Minecraft website that will... You can type in whatever size you want and it will make a dome for you. I could probably make one myself, but it's going to be a lot of trial and error. I'll probably mess it up a bunch of times. So this is just a really useful tool, and you could follow along the template and make it beautiful on your own. That's definitely going to be a good size for us, and I think the placement is pretty good. The plan is not to build like a whole circular dome, but I want to have like a base and build half the dome on top, almost like an observatory. But yeah, then we'll have all of our bees and stuff on the inside, have it farmed automatically, and dump out to a chest somewhere out here, maybe out here. And now that all the clay is done smelting, I'm going to have to smelt up this glass. I'm thinking a super smelter in the next episode. But with that, folks, the shulker box is full of stuff to build with. I got more sand smelting, and I think we could kick this off into a time-lapse building the outside of our bee farm, and I will see you folks back in a minute. Hey there folks, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that time lapse. Definitely enjoyed building it. I think it looks fantastic. We still got some work to do on the outside. We need a path leading up to it and whatnot, but I'll take care of that in a minute. For now, I do have our bee nests in our inventory, not the beehives. We'll have to build beehives, but for now I actually have to breed these bees up. So I made these little lamppost type situations here with the smoke underneath. We'll be able to harvest some honeycomb that way, and I'll find some flowers to breed these guys up. But here's the layout for our automatic farm. Now we have 7 plots here for 7 beehives, and they kind of work like a wool farm. You could put a dispenser at the back with some shears in it, and that's how you will get honeycomb. Or you could fill it with glass bottles and harvest the honey itself. But we're going for honeycomb so we could wax some of our copper. And I actually lied, I can't count, and that's 9 blocks, so we're going to have even more honeycomb than I thought. But for now, we are going to place these bee nests right here, and I think I have some flowers that I mined up from around the area. These bees should come out at some point. Here we go, I got some lilacs from the outside here, and I'll lay a couple of these around. We don't really have too many bees, so just a few would be okay. There we go, all of our bees are out, and we have 4 actually now, so it'll be a little bit easier to breed. We want to fill all of these. You could fit, I think, 3 in a nest and maybe 4 in a hive, so we could have this place full. One of our nests is full here. We can come up and harvest it with the Oh no! Why are they angry at me? Why are they angry at me? Oh my gosh, I gotta get out of here. They have smoke underneath. That was weird. Okay. Okay, that was a little strange. I wonder why that happened. I might move the campfires up a block maybe. Maybe they have to be right underneath the hive, but that was strange. The smoke is going right into the bottom. I harvested it and they got mad, so I'm going to try that again and probably breed a couple more of these guys up so we don't lose all of them. When the bees sting you, they actually die, kind of like real life. So we lost a bee just then, but we still have a few left to breed. Starting to think it was the slab on top maybe that did it. So this is directly underneath. I put some trapdoors. Hopefully the bees don't burn themselves on this. That's really why I had the slab on there in the first place. Oh boy, this is really scary. I don't want to lose these guys, but I'm going to go for it. Don't hate me. Okay. Yeah, so I guess it was the slab. So now that we can make a couple of hives, let's talk about the redstone here. I've got observers and dispensers. What we're going to want is an observer actually looking right down into this beehive here. We want the redstone signal facing out in the face right down into it. And then of course behind it we're going to want some dispensers, so I'm actually going to have to break these. Yep, they got mad at me again. Okay, so moral of the story here is to place the hives last, I guess. So anyways, as I was saying, we're going to need the dispensers behind the hives like this, and these are going to be full of shears to shear the honeycomb, just like we were doing. But this time there's no chance of them getting mad because we didn't even do it, it was automatic. Observers and dispensers are in, and they should be looking something like this, as long as the face is facing down. It doesn't really matter what direction these are in. But we need to go on top here and place a row of blocks behind the observers. And basically, this whole thing is just going to get covered in redstone like this. Now that that situation is settled in there, we can make our way underneath the farm and start the collection system. Start digging out a little hallway here, lined ourselves up just underneath the farm, and we're going to loop it around 1 extra block, because sometimes the honeycomb can shoot out a little farther than 1 block. So we got to bring this over to -1560. Okay, got ourselves a rail line going through, the minecart comes back, and I set up the same collection system that we had over there at the sugarcane farm. I think that's going to work great. I'm not going to put the minecart in there yet, but I do have all the beehives that we need right here. We have 9 total, so I think it's time for me to probably bone meal some flowers and start breeding these guys up so we could fill these hives and get this farm running. Let's also not forget to fill these with shears. Putting in the last few hives now, and I gathered up myself about 2 stacks of dandelions, so pretty much going to sit here and breed up these guys until this room is full of bees. And there's our first baby bee, look at him. He's so adorable. And while we're breeding these guys up, we could start talking about the build a little bit. I wanted to leave a door open here so we could access the dispensers, but I'm probably going to have to do that on the back side. We can start coming up with some spruce pillars over here. And I have dark oak staircases as well. Kind of want to do like an arch over the top of this, maybe with some of those flowering azalea leaves, because bees can actually pollinate from those because there's flowers on it. I think that'd be a cool look for this area. We can hang some lanterns down, we could throw an arch here, and probably on the back wall over here to match so there's some symmetry. Yeah, that's looking awesome here with the arches. I think maybe we could connect a beam going across the middle as well. That might look pretty cool. But as for the ground, I definitely want a lot of flowers on it. But something we have to look out for is if we put a flower like right up next to this, it is possible for a honeycomb to land on top of a flower. It's going to be hard to get that toss. But yeah, I've seen it happen, and they'll be floating up there. So I think it's best to keep most of the flowers and stuff around the actual bee nests themselves and keep this this row here clear. Alright, we've got this nice little cross beam going with the lantern hanging in the middle. That should provide some good light, but I think we could do some more. Got some glowstone here, and I think I'm going to put these 3 right here in the corner. That should also prevent... Oh, we just got a harvest too. That was great. That should prevent the hives on this side spitting out the blocks over here, because I want to put glowstone and then actually cover it up with some oak trapdoors. The oak should match the hives pretty well, and it should still let the light through just a bit, so that's looking pretty good. I think it's about time we send this minecart on its way so we don't have to collect it ourselves. Now let's talk flowers. I moved the 2 tall ones kind of out of the way. I want them more towards the side. We could even mix in a couple of these peonies in there with it. I think that'll look pretty nice. But I also have these blue orchids in my inventory, and we're going to get swarmed with bees if I hold one of these. But they're one of my favorite flowers as well, and I think we could sprinkle these in here. And just this splash of color that's going on is going to look great. And I have a moss block as well in my inventory. I'm going to put that in the ground right here. We could spread some moss around this place too, and probably get some of the azalea bushes. If we get the flowering ones, bees will actually come and pollinate on those as well, so that's pretty cool. Don't think we want this grass or carpet right here next to the hives though. We should probably get rid of that. Aha! See? This here is what I was talking about. I'm thinking maybe instead of the trapdoors, we do some fences here. That'll probably count as a full block, and it won't be able to push some honeycomb in here. But yeah, we would have definitely lost that. It would have despawned eventually. Alright, we've got a good amount of bees working now, and the inside's looking good. Last thing I think I want to add is a bit of these... Oh! Okay, they still follow me around. Can we feed them flowering leaves? Oh, yes, we can. That's funny. But I wanted to add these around, and hopefully they'll hover over to these. Not while they're in my hand, though, and I'm trying to place them. That would be nice. And with that, folks, the interior of the bee farm is done. And look at all these bees. I think we can move to the outside, though, because we don't really have a path going up here. And we have this exposed redstone with our double chest. I think we can make this into like a little shed that's right next to it. We can just see the minecart going in and out. That'll be cool. Starting up with some spruce beams here. We could strip those guys down and make that look a little nicer. And I actually got some oak trapdoors over here just to cover our minecart going in and out. I think that looks cool. We could still see that it's moving, because sometimes minecarts tend to disappear. It's a bug going on in Bedrock, so fair warning if you're building a farm like this, always check up on your minecarts, make sure you can see them. Ended up raising this section of the shed up just a little bit, wanted to have just sort of a tiered look to it, and I think we're going to mix in some mossy and regular stone brick here on the walls, and they are going to be walls themselves because I want it to have a little bit of depth. I don't want just a flat wall here, so let's see how that looks. Just finishing off the roof with some slabs here, and we got ourselves a nice simple shed to hide all of our redstone mechanisms, and you know, I think it looks pretty good. This isn't supposed to be here though. Getting in some finer details here now. We're just about through with the build, but I have to do a little bit of terraforming around here. I already cut back this land a little bit just so we could have a staircase and a nice path going through, but I think I'm going to take out this tree here. And now if we cut to the left of the sheep farm, we have a pathway going up to the bee farm or honeycomb farm, whatever you really want to call it. There's the front door there. We got a path going along this way. Definitely gonna have to do some detail work out here. That'll probably be on stream, I think. But big reveal. We could finally check the chest and see what we're working with here. Whoa, almost a stack of honeycomb in there, plus a grass block, I guess, from when I was building. But yeah, that's working really good, and I don't even think we bred up all the bees yet. But with that being said, folks, that is going to be it for today. I have a bunch of shulker boxes that I got to get organized. But subscribe if you are new here and leave a like on the video. I really appreciate everybody watching. Hope you enjoyed it today, and I will see you really soon with another Minecraft video. Once again, my name is niXcraft, Take care, folks. We'll see you soon.